And finally, Evan's recommendation. It's Anzio's Italian restaurant on North 28th Drive, just north of West Cactus Road in Phoenix.
My wife and I worked in a little Italian restaurant back in Ohio. To follow our own dream and passion of making Italian food and working in the restaurant business, we decided to open up our own restaurant. So that's how Anzio's was created. That's how it started. Our food, it's not rocket science. We just use very fresh ingredients. We also use the very best quality of tomatoes, of olive oil, of the pasta, and we just try with every dish to make it. We understand it could be somebody's first dish, and obviously you only have one time to make a first impression. So we really try hard to make every dish very special for every one of our guests. One of my favorite dishes here at Anzio's is the Tuscan pasta. It is fresh spinach, sauteed tomatoes and artichokes, topped with a feta cheese, and I love to add the fresh shrimp to that. It just has all the freshness of the spinach and then the shrimp to complement it. It's a very good dish, one of my favorite dishes. We're Irish actually, from Ireland originally, so just had a love of making Italian food. That's kind of been our passion and a dream that we had, and just have been pursuing that since 1986.
So, Evan, tell me about Anzio's. This is quite a find, and you have to look for it.
So Anzio's, when you drive up, it's part of a strip mall. It's a crossroad pawn shop and next to an auto store. You're like, am I at the right place? But the minute you walk in, it just has this old-fashioned red brick Italian restaurant, homey family feel to it. It was just awesome.
The one thing that I had trouble with, though, is when I Google Map Quest it, it sent me to the opposite side of the freeway to a neighborhood, and I was like, it said Anzio's restaurant. I'm like,
Anzio's house?
I know, I was like,
restaurant?
I know, I was like, I don't know if I really want to go in their house. I'm like, well, maybe it's like a house thing like mine. I'm like, I don't think that trike in the front yard is really gonna say it. So I called them, and they gave me directions very easily, and it was easy to find them. When I walked in, I was greeted right away, and we were seated right away, which was nice. But yeah, the ambiance, like everything around, and again, it's like that feel, it's kind of like you're going.
Well, it is sort of that
in
movie
time.
set 1960s, like classics,
You're
or
going
Naugahyde,
back in
like
time.
really back in time. It's a throwback in time.
One thing it's missing is the old wicker bottles of Merlot.
Exactly.
Oh, the
yes.
Chianti.
Or Chianti.
Yeah.
Yes, Chianti. So Evan, this is your place. What do you always start with?
And we got the fried cheese ravioli. My 2-year-old daughter loved them. We couldn't cut them fast enough to keep her going. And my wife and I each had a couple, and they're fresh, they're good. Just a great starter.
We had a sampler platter that had mushrooms and zucchini and cheese sticks. It was good. It kind of reminded me of something you might get in a sports bar, but it was, I guess I would say, well executed. They did a nice job with it.
Yeah, I did the same thing, but we did the zucchini, the fried zucchini, the mushrooms, as well as the onion rings. And my cousin Deb from Ohio makes amazing zucchini. So the fried zucchini, when I tasted that and I bit into it, I was sold. It was really good.
Nice. So Evan, what did you have for entrees?
So I had the combo platter because I felt for the show I should have a little bit of everything. And it started off, I had the chicken parm, which I devour. I love their chicken parm. Perfectly cooked. There's still moist chicken inside, and it comes on a bed of spaghetti and perfect amount of sauce. Then I had the fettuccine alfredo, which again, it's the way that they make it is just perfect. A lot of places when you go and get fettuccine alfredo, the noodles are swimming in sauce, or they don't give you enough. This is just enough to coat it with a nice thick Alfredo sauce and not make it where it's all over the plate.
Well, technically, that is how pasta should be coated with sauce. Not swimming in it, not pooled in it, but just coating it just enough, fully coating it, so that it has all the flavor. So what else was on this?
Then the third part of the combo platter was the lasagna, which by the time I finished the other two, I was stuffed. But for the integrity of the show, I had a couple bites. And it's just a wonderful lasagna. It's all so good.
I had the chicken parm too, because they recommended it, make it in-house, pound it out in-house. Classic, again, 60s, like done. Yeah. What did you have, Deborah?
Okay. Yeah, I did the same thing as you did, but we also ordered the hoagie. I think the thing that really made it pop was putting the banana peppers on it. Was really good with the bell peppers already on there and the cheese and everything like that. It just melted and connected so well. It was very good.
So the most important thing about an Italian hoagie is the bread.
Yeah,
Explain the
it
bread.
was-
Did you get
yes,
that crunch?
thank you. Yes, the crust, it was nice and warm on the inside and had the softness, but on the outside it was that
Yeah,
crunch. 'Cause
almost
I
cut
like-
your
I
your
like
teeth.
texture. I'm a texture person, so when you bite into something, I like the crunch and the soft,
Yeah.
and then it just kind of flows into the meat and the cheese and everything.
I've had the
So it was
done
really
before,
good.
and it's just
Isn't
it's
it
a
insane?
great sandwich.
What did you have, Angela?
Well, I've never met a carb that I didn't like, so I tried a few things as well. But I had a chicken and broccoli dish. It was good. It was a solid dish. I wasn't wowed. It didn't have any kind of over the top flavor that was super memorable, but it was a solid dish. Now my husband had a ravioli dish, and they offer a meat or a cheese or mix. So he got the half and half, and the portion sizes, I'm sure you guys would say as well, are ridiculous. I mean, it's that
Yeah.
Italian restaurant thing where it's
Family style.
yeah, everything's family style.
Even if it's not.
Even when it's not. He loved the meat ravioli, wasn't crazy about the cheese ravioli. So, kind of a mixed experience, but he did think the meat ravioli was really tasty and flavorful.
Ending with sweet. I know you.
Yes, I do
Sometimes have
occasionally
dessert,
have
yes.
dessert, yes. And once again, no self-control. We ordered 2 desserts. I mean, just so I could tell you guys what it was like.
Absolutely.
But
All for the show.
yes. So we actually got to talking with our server a little bit. Fantastic service, by the way. Probably among the best service that I've had at restaurants in the Valley in as long as I can remember. Really outstanding service. But she told us that they made the cannoli filling in-house. So, of course, we had to try that. It was fantastic. I loved it. I'm a sucker for a good cannoli. And they do a great job of making it that rich, creamy filling, but not too sweet, where it's almost a little bit more towards the cheese side, that like mascarpone taste, and then with the chocolate chips and a nice crunchy shell served really cold so that you can kind of break into it and get a bite of everything all at once.
I am getting hungry.
Yeah, it was fantastic. So, the food was good, but the dessert really wowed me. I would go back for the dessert for sure.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
yeah.
That's exactly my girlfriend and I said. We were both like, we're coming back for wine and dessert because we had the wine
yeah.
and we had the dessert. And I did the Nutella cheesecake. Holy
the one
mother
I had.
load. Oh my gosh. And I'm not a fan of the New York style cheesecakes because I don't like the real denseness,
Right.
but this was like perfect. And with the Nutella, it was like drizzled over on top of the bananas, and I was sold. And we had our wine. I had the Moscato, and I was between
you
the
had some
Moscato.
Moscato.
Oh yes,
Yes, of course.
I
And
enjoyed
was
What a
that
myself.
great
the ones that
combination.
they-
too.
I had the cheesecake as well, and I've tried other desserts there before, but we were like, this one it popped that time, and they put it's the right amount of everything. It was just amazing.
Awesome. If you would like to try Anzio's Italian restaurant, reservations are not accepted, and the average tab for dinner is $20 without drinks.